this is Janine Palmer to do a ASMR style storytime poetry reading from the book Forged in Poetic Fire. And these poems will be more of an esoteric nature. The first poem is called A Goddess's Prayer. Upon this earthly journey, God's grace is never apart, to guide me through compassion's fire, whether heavy or light of heart. An eternal spring of love is present, through sadness, though sadness often intrudes. But gratitude and happiness are always frequent interludes. Help me strengthen areas of weakness with all I am to bear. Through my works, thy deep love flows. I know thee hears my prayers. Work through me on this wretched plain. Work through me with thy words, to assist me in these endeavors with the strength of my mighty sword. Blessed and thankful are they who would listen to the whispers of the heart's display, when anger and wrath they will spurn, and love's power do they slay. In gratitude I kneel, with my sword held fast in my hand, while all the wounds bleed and heal, as we unite at thy command. Sometimes my heart is melting love, sometimes it's a bullet so strong, sometimes it smiles in happiness, sometimes it's sadness's song. Sometimes I am faced with hatred, sometimes it feels like war. Sometimes I meet the grace in mankind, sometimes I find new doors. The glorious beauty of humanity mixed in with the dregs of hell. Dark and light, and where is the balance? Within us, balance should dwell. The beasts there and the beauty exalted before thy throne, stumbling through a nightmare. Through awakening they atone. The washing away of illusion, unworthiness flung into the fire, and the lies religions believed and taught, disconnected them from thy spire. How my love for thee does sing, sparks dance forth from thy crown. Saints long buried, now arise like sweet incense from the ground. The chosen ones to lead them out of the darkness of their plight, toward a love so indescribable, toward the love which glows as light. The words of thee through many come, the flow of grace to earth, as we rise in our ascension through the process of rebirth. No more will we suffer ignorance, no more shall we be slaves to religious or political ideologies, which line illusion's graves. In grace and heartfelt gratitude, the goddess kneels as truest friend, for the opportunity now to serve, to teach, to heal, to mend, to defend the very needed things, the warrior's path and grace, whether received with compassion's brilliant truth, or whether faced with hatred's painful face. Tears which fall like diamonds bright from the sadness in my heart. Cleanse my soul through compassion's spring, because from the all we never part. Gratitude, the sweet elixir, it heals and fuels my course. Love for and from my brethren, the balance of mystery, a curious force. The windows of the individual, in which God can always be seen. The love which flows, known and unknown, through life's mysterious stream. In gratitude with my broadsword, I serve thee in compassion's grace, and the love I share with humanity is the smile upon my face. The sword represents the power. The sword represents divine strength. It is used to cut away what no longer serves, so healing waters we may drink. The balance so needed in between the divine masculine and the divine feminine here. Something so far out of balance in so many cultures and religions for too many years. The divine feminine is rising to nurture, for balance to be so restored. A coming together of hearts and souls as we lay down our swords. The next one I'm going to read is called Warrior's Door. The bones of the ancestors might be reminders of the paths they walked before, but the part of them which never dies walks on through the warrior's door. Mystical and ancient legends of truth. Some are understood and some are not. Some things are known or unknown, and on this level, some we forgot. The ravens are mystical messengers, keepers of wisdom and lore, the spirits of the animals which guide us now and forevermore. And the dove reminds us of our spirit, if we listen to the whispers on high, as we rise above dogma's illusions, back to our power now by and by. The dragons whom we can no longer see, but which many of us can still feel, compared to the illusions we exist in here, are far more compassionate and real. Though good and bad like everything here, the light and shadow of all, and the work we do here in this realm to heal the ignorance of the fall. The warrior men and women who are spoken of in history are here again to carry on their work. Do you know they are you and me? And through the ropes and knots, the cultures and bits of wisdom in between, sifting through the wheat and the chaff for the enlightenment we must glean, the stories and lore which remind us when they inspire us with memory's spark. And so we see a glimmer of light which soon guides us out of the dark. The armor of our ancestors, their experiences are part of us, part of our indwelling immortal spirit, not connected to any bones in the dust. And I will read one called Purification by Fire. Through lessons, experiences, and fire, the purification of fire for good, and the masters in the background helping her when she peeked out from behind her hood. Sometimes we don't recognize a good thing before we push it away. Before our old wounds come up to test us, we lash out and maim and slay. And the pain we inflict and share has a ripple effect, you see. It branches out to keep delivering pain until by our own power we become free. The destruction we encounter is necessary to break away the old marble and shells, to free ourselves so we can rebuild a new part of ourselves apart from hell. Some say to subdue your passion, but that depends on one's perspective. Passion in the old language is suffering, or it can mean a driving force more reflective. Subduing your passion might be subduing what controls you. It might be a way of taking your power back from thoughts or pain or memories to get you back on track. But the passion that is the driving force, the passion of your compassionate flame, that must be fanned with divine love to do your work for greater good's gain. So it depends upon interpretation. It depends upon what is in your heart. Even if others don't see it and throw stones at you, let no one dampen your spark. If your passion is suffering because you lack important facts, look within yourself for the answers and fill yourself with what you lack. If your passion is suffering due to another, this must be subdued for peace, for you to gain control over false thought forms, to find your truth, your wisdom, and strength. If your passion is your calling, the work you do here for God, then you must don your divine armor and allow no one upon it to trod. Become very aware of perspectives. Become very aware of mirrors. Become very aware what is theirs or yours. And remember, we are cleansed by our tears. Be in gratitude for painful initiations which force you to rise above. Be aware of the importance of balance here between the raven and the dove. One of the most important things the initiate here does learn is that our God of love has nothing to do with religion. He, she is a fire in us which burns. She peeked out from behind her cloak, where she observed the workings of man, where she took shelter from their pain they threw at her, and she drew things in the sand. She sat with her compassion. She pondered what she continued to learn. She knew her connection to creative source was nothing she must earn. And that is it for this poetry reading today.